Reading a book is a skill. Honing your book reading skills will make you understand the content of the book faster. Hi, welcome to the Self-Up. This time I will talk about the book, How to Read a Book, by Mortimer J. Adler. This book discusses how to read books effectively. Well, we've been reading books since we were in school, why should we learn? That's right, but unfortunately not everyone can read effectively. Just like 90% of people feel that their driving skills are above average. Reading is a skill. Just like any other skill, you can improve this skill no matter if you started reading as a child or not. I summarized it into 3 key points from this book. First, why should we read? Many people may stop reading books when they are not in the education system. There is no compelling reason to read anymore. In school, we are forced to read so that we can get good grades. But as an adult, reading becomes a personal choice. There is a unique fact about the human mind. The human body has a limit to growth. At the age of 30, the human body stops growing. Even you can say, human health starts to decline. But there is no limit to brain growth. The human mind doesn't stop growing no matter how old it is. It is only when the brain loses its vigor that the mind also loses its ability to understand. The mind is arguably similar to a muscle. You need to exercise it constantly to keep your mind sharp. What are the reasons why people read? There are usually 3: entertainment, seeking information, or trying to understand something. Of these 3 reasons, understanding something is the most difficult skill. Especially in the modern era, our attention span is very limited. We find it difficult to sit and focus on something for a long time. Interestingly, reading is an active activity, not a passive one. When the author tries to throw in new information, it's your job to catch it. Well, a book can be successful when both sides play their roles well. The more active you are in reading, the better your skills will be. In the end, you absorb a lot of information and can see the world from a different perspective. The question is, how can we read actively? Maybe you see reading as a way for you to interact with the author. So when you read something, try to come with an open mind and realize that the book was written by a human. There must be things that are not perfect. Don't just accept everything that's written and assume it's true. Go back and check the truth. Another tip for active reading, for example, you can put a highlighter on some sentences that you think are good or mark some pages that you like. You can also connect the discussion from one chapter to another. This is how you interact with the author. Second, the 4 types of reading. The majority of people learn to read in school. But that's only one of the 4 types of reading. The author explains that reading is not just what you know. It has several different types. First, elementary reading. This is the type of reading we learned when we were in school. We learn to understand words and try to comprehend what is written and then reread. However, we can improve our skills by reading at an appropriate speed. You can practice reading a word, then use your finger or pencil to point to the word at a speed that is slightly faster than usual. Over time, your reading speed will get faster and you will reduce the bad habit of reading silently. Just remember, the focus is not on reading as fast as possible, but read at an appropriate speed. Each book should not be read slower than it should be and not faster until you lose the pleasure of reading. Second, inspectional reading. This is the art of reading to get a quick idea of what a book is about in a short amount of time. Maybe before you commit to reading a book, you should use this technique first. Why is this important? If the book doesn't suit your interests, then you don't need to spend hours reading it. You can start by reading the title, table of contents, preface, and index. This information should be enough to give you an idea of what the author is trying to say. The third is analytical reading. This is the art of reading one page at a time and trying to understand the content in depth. The last is synoptical reading. This type of reading is usually practiced by academics or writers. You read different types of books on the same topic and then form your own thoughts. Third, the right way to read a book. How to understand a book better. A writer is arguably someone who sells ideas. So, to judge if the idea is useful for you or not, take a look at the keywords. Usually these keywords are written over and over again, marked with an underline or bold. At the beginning, the author also explains this as the theme of the book. If you have, you can start to understand what the core message of the book is. You can see it from the various arguments that the author tries to build. From there, try to make your own sentence that describes the core message that the author wants to deliver. This method is to test if you understand what is written. If you can compose your own sentence, you can say that you understand what is being said. When you're done reading, what do? Reading a book is not just about absorbing the information delivered by the author. On the other side, you can also judge the quality of the work. Ask yourself, is what the author says true? Are the arguments made based on facts? Was the story written in the right order? But before you comment, you must first understand what the author wants to convey. Okay, what's the conclusion? First, reading is a choice. Many people may stop reading books when they are not in education. There is no compelling reason anymore to push someone to read. In school, we were forced to read to get good grades. But as an adult, reading becomes a personal choice. Second, the reason why someone reads. There are usually 3 reasons: entertainment, seeking information, or trying to understand something. Of these 3 reasons, understanding something is the most difficult skill. Especially in the modern era, our attention span is very limited. We find it difficult to sit and focus on something for a long time. Third, understand the book better. A writer is arguably someone who sells ideas. Now, to judge if the idea is useful for you or not, try looking at the keywords. Usually, these keywords are written over and over again, marked with an underline or bold. At the beginning, the author also often explains this as the main theme of the book. If you've done that, you can start to understand what the core message of the book is. You can see it from the various arguments that the author tries to build. From there, try to make your own sentence that describes the core message that the author wants to deliver. Please comment in the comments column what lessons you learned when reading this book. If you want to explore the book further, the link is in the description or the pinned comment. Thanks for your support in developing this channel. Thanks for watching and being a part of the Self-Up community. If there's a specific book or subject you're curious about, drop a comment below. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos on books, motivation, and self-development. Keep growing, and I'll see you next time.